Welcome back, everyone. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the awesome Nintendo Gamecube. A lot of times people will ask me in person or on comments online about what they think is one of the better consoles to be collecting for. I think that the original Nintendo and the Super Nintendo are some of my more favorite consoles to collect for, but they're getting really expensive, especially for the good games. While there are some expensive games on the GameCube console, there's not very many. There's only a handful that command top dollar. In a lot of cases, you can go to a local secondhand store on eBay and pick stuff up complete in box for under $10. Some of the better stuff might run you 30 or 40, but it's still a very good value for what you're going to get. So we're going to cover some of the hardware, some of the software, and just a little bit of my thoughts on it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll start off with the hardware for the Nintendo GameCube. First we have the console itself. This one is silver. I do have a black one at the moment. Purple was also a common color, and there was also some special edition ones. There was a Pokemon special edition, and in Japan they have different colorations too. This one happens to be silver. The general layout of it is a cube, hence the GameCube, and I think it's really aged well over time in comparison against something, let's say, like a Xbox or even a PlayStation 1. I think that the GameCube is still pretty cool looking. After that, we've got what is referred to as a Nintendo Game Boy player to the left. Those are one of the must-have devices if you have a Nintendo GameCube. One of the hardest things to get for that, though, is the boot-up disc. You're going to need a boot-up disc if you want to be able to play any of your Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color games on that. We've got a few different controllers here. We have a purple wired controller and a silver wired controller. The wired versions are the standard version for the Nintendo GameCube. On the far right, we have what's referred to as a Wavebird controller. I believe that those came in two different colorations. I could be wrong. Maybe there's more. Those have a wireless dongle that would be plugged into the GameCube and really enhances your gameplay because you can sit back on the couch and really relax while you're playing. On the far left, we've got a set of bongos. Those are actually used in conjunction primarily with a game called Donkey Konga and Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. There's a microphone in addition to the bongos themselves, so you actually clap at certain key intervals of the game to advance Donkey Kong throughout the stages. That's just a selection of the hardware that's available. There's much more. This is just what I have at the moment. The real reason anybody wants to buy a Nintendo GameCube is for the games. What we've got out here right now is what I consider to be some of the better games for the system that I currently have, or the more baller games, depending on how you want to look at it. In the top left corner, we'll just start there. We got F-Zero GX. That's a continuation of the F-Zero series. It's a really cool racing game. Pretty tough, though. Next, we got Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. This has become one of the more pricey, sought-after games for the GameCube. It is an excellent game. If you guys can pick it up and stomach the price tag of it, I do recommend picking that game up. A whole bunch of Zelda games came out on the console also. We've got 5 of the releases ones. We got a special Zelda promotional disc. That's got some of the older Zeldas on it, all the way back to the original 8-bit, I do believe. We've got the next Zelda there. That's a little bit of a complex game where you have 4 characters. Next we have a Zelda game that was released originally for the N64, Ocarina of Time. One of those is remastered and one of those is never before released. If you can pick that one up, I think it's still relatively affordable. Next Zelda game in the lineup is Zelda Twilight Princess. That actually came out over several platforms. It was for GameCube and Wii, and I believe it was remastered later on for the Nintendo Wii U. Zelda Wind Waker, this one was more of a childish animated one, we'll just say, kind of a more cutesy animation. Really cool game to pick up. Next we have Luigi's Mansion. If you guys want to see some more information on Luigi's Mansion, we actually have a dedicated video to that. It's a really cool spooky game. Again, recommend picking that up. Next we got Mario Kart Double Dash, and a continuation on the very popular Mario Kart series that started with Super Nintendo. After that we got Mario Party 7. Ton of Mario Parties. If you guys or girls haven't played Mario Party, pick it up for whatever console you currently own at the moment. They're excellent, fun games to have if you have a couple of visitors. They're even great to play with family members. Got a couple Nintendo sports titles here. Mario Tennis. We also got Mario Superstar Baseball. They're actually both really fun games. There was a Mario Golf out for the console also. I don't currently have that, but Nintendo usually does a pretty darn good job on their sports titles. Mega Man X Collection goes for a couple bucks typically, but if you can afford to get it, pick it up if you're a Mega Man fan. I kind of stink at Mega Man myself, but I do enjoy collecting them. Next we got some Metroid games. It's a first-person perspective in these Metroid Prime games. We have the first one for GameCube and the second one for GameCube also. These were also released for the Nintendo Wii. It's a first-person shooter. The controls take a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, it's absolutely worth your time. Potentially one of the best RPGs out on the console. We got Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Excellent game. You can still have this game for around 45 bucks. If you don't have it in your collection, I think you would enjoy it. Next we got Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Honestly, I can't speak too much of this game yet. I haven't played it. It's just a recent addition to our collection, but hopefully I can find a little bit of time and report back to you. Super Mario Sunshine was the main Mario release for the console. It is similar to Mario 64 if you've ever played that. It's kind of a free roaming world Mario. Pretty good game. Super Monkey Ball is a series of small games that you just play. It's developed by Sega. Whole heck of a lot of fun. Last on the baller list of games here we have Super Smash Bros. Melee. A lot of people consider that to be the best Smash Bros. Of the series. The graphics are excellent. There's one of our cats. That's Franny. She approves of the GameCube Collection. But you can't go wrong with that Super Smash Bros. Melee. If you don't have that, it's probably my favorite one. Here we have the rest of our Nintendo GameCube game collection. These aren't the baller games, these are more of the B and C tier games. Still some pretty good titles in here. Got a mixture of platformers, driving games, sports games. Heck, we even got a poker game there. Sonic the Hedgehog, Mega Man, a few RPGs. Like I had previously discussed with the Donkey Kong Bongos, we've got the games that go along with those. Battalion Wars, it's a fun little game. Harvest Moon, I'm sure everyone's familiar with that. The Star Wars games are actually pretty terrific if you don't have those. Star Wars Rebel Strike and Rogue Leader, both excellent. Tales of Symphonia, good RPG for the system. We have some animated games. Teen Titans, I haven't actually played that, but I'm looking forward to that because supposedly it's actually a fairly good game. Here we have the GameCube boot up disc. That is going to enable you to use your Game Boy player. Some Star Wars Legos games, Star Fox Assault, pretty solid title for the console. Animal Crossing. Can't go wrong with Pac-Man. Ended up with a couple of superhero games here as well. Like I said, this is more of my B and C tier titles. A lot of these I haven't quite yet had the time to play, but as we get some more gameplay time on these or add anything into the collection, I'll certainly update everyone. Well, there you have it. There's my current GameCube collection. Hardware, software. As soon as we get some more stuff, we're going to be putting that back up so that you can watch as the game collection grows. Really just not the biggest one, but it's what we got for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you like it or if you dislike it, or if there's something that I'm missing that you really think that would benefit my collection. Thanks for tuning in to Horseplay Hobbies. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up or subscribe.